Hey guys, it's me T coming at you in the most realist way ever. Okay, so this is like a dream come true for me because I've always wanted to do my readings, my robes. Okay, readings and robes, robes and readings. Yes. So this is a total dream come true, and also, um, like forget the background and everything. I didn't do my bed. I was just like, yo, we're gonna show up a real raw, real comfortable, and that's how we're gonna do things, right? So I'm thoroughly excited and and by the way, just so you know, this reading is going to go a little slower because I naturally am revved the fuck up like for the new year and stuff. And I just feel like I'm so thoroughly excited. But because I'm like overly excited, I was getting the message to go slow. So if you don't have time for this reading like right here, right now, then definitely just save it for later and just like watch it later on your own time. Like if you can't stick around. Okay, so we're doing helpful people in travel today, and for the feminine cards, I have already shuffled them to kind of, I guess, be more yin about them, but also to be more um like to save everybody else some sweet time, right? So, am I doing one by one? Okay, so I'm leaving the cards. All right. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Sometimes I don't know if they want me to do it all together. Sometimes I don't know if they want me to do it separately. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the picture here? So, oh, thank you, 18, for all of your guidance. They're coming through quick. Okay. Tell me flip them all over. Flip them all over. All over the place. All right. So, going into helpful people in travel, I'm trying to figure out where the camera is here. I think I found it. Okay. Got you. So helpful in people in travel in the morning, you have guided children. So that's Damara. Damara, and it's a beautiful card. So guiding children, it says you are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. So this can mean a whole bunch of different things. Helpful people could mean that, children are your helpful people here. By the way, I just have to mention, I love that that I was guided to use the goddess guidance oracle cards as a freaking oracle card today because of the fact, or as a deck today, just because I feel as though our feminine side to ourselves have now crowned ourselves with just fucking like whoever resonates with me or whoever like kind of lives a lifestyle like me is both, right? Like, I mean, we're not going to be the same people, but I'm just saying like a happiness lifestyle. Put it that way. And by happiness, do I share this right now? Yes. Okay, so by happiness, I mean, because last night, I had the urge I really wanted some noodles, right? So, I asked my mom to pick up some noodles, some Chinese noodles on her way home, and I got I like completely fell asleep, by the way, didn't eat the noodles, but this morning, cold noodles are damn good too, so I zoomed in on the fortune cookie that was for me, and and it's purely for me, because it says, happiness lies in the joy of achievement and the thrill of creative effort. So, I read this and I was thinking to myself, I was like, yo, I fucking love this because this is exactly, and crazy because I've been kind of thinking about like sacralness and, and creativity and just stuff that I do. And this is kind of also like a very good reflective statement because it made me realize that I was like, oh my God, this is where exactly my happiness has always come from. This is why I always say I never stop like working, because even if it's not maybe paid work or if it's not, visible work, I'm personally doing work all the time. Like on the invisible side, like sometimes it gets to the point where I don't even sleep because I'm dreaming and I'm doing work as I'm dreaming. Like it's crazy, but I love it. This is what life is all about. So, so happiness lies in the joy of achievement, which is why goal setting is so important, right? Like it's like, but it's not where we have to put our worthiness, right? Because of the fact that sometimes we feel as though when we, when we call a goal out, right? And it doesn't happen by the time that we've said it was going to happen, we get a little down, right? But the whole idea about life is just call it out. Call out your goals, because sometimes you don't know. They are meant for, I mean, I have so many that I can't stick them all in one year, right? So the whole thing, sometimes you go with your intuition on which goal to always work on and chip away at. But I mean, that's how I work. But the whole thing is, and always be prepared with like what you can do for that goal, right? So when you set the goal, you obviously kind of, it's not obvious, but I've been taught, because I have been taught, it wasn't obvious to me, that you have to literally put like smaller tasks, like, oh, what can you do in order to achieve this goal? And so you can just leave it at that and then come back to it whenever you're intuitively inspired to go at it, because that would be the divine right timing to chip away at it. And then you will see how achieving even that one small thing, or achieving the entire thing as a completion to a whole, right? As completing the entire goal as a whole is what I meant to say. Is the joy achievement, both. So on a small level and on a big level, and also the reward, right? So that is huge, and that's what I do all the time, okay? And then the thrill of creative effort, it's like, there is, for me, I think it's like the latter part of it that I just get so fucking excited in terms of how things pan out creatively. So that's with the usage of me, excuse me, but that's also with the usage of like the co-creation between me and the divine. And we're just like back and forth, back and forth. We're each other's like bounce off system. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm bouncing ideas off of them. They're divinely downloading, ideas in my mind about like what I need to do about it. Like, for instance, I was taking a picture of the thumbnail and I didn't really like the picture, but then they were just like, oh, move the table over. I went into meditation and they were like, oh, but move the table over. And I'm like, oh, results. I was like, results and solutions. It's like amazing, right? So it's like, so again, it's the thrill of creative effort and that happening over and over and over again. So, I am absolutely, and this to me is both yellow, like the color of happiness to me is yellow, but also more so rainbow, right? It could be like all the arrays of colors. But joy is yellow to me. In terms of achievement, also you get golden medals, right? So achievement is gold. And then the thrill of creative effort, thrill to me, it's interesting. I'm getting purple for it, but I've never put some thought into it. Or purple or like fuchsia, pink, like that type of thing. And creative effort is orange. So I like creative effort. I like orange. You know what I'm saying? Like I just do. And it's really funny because orange is one of the kind of muted, I feel, colors. And it's kind of like the underrated color. Like, I feel like, and it's interesting because orange will always stay true to orange, like even in its neon form and even in its like pastel form. Like, it's kind of like the same hue, that may not make any sense, but it's just one of those things. So lately, creativity has been like totally like been the crown of what I've been really just so grateful to have. And and it's just an awesome reflective fortune to have received today, because I was like, wow, that it crowns everything, in terms of the feminine side, like in terms of saying, hey, you've been on the right path, but also it kind of extends you out to here's what you're in it for, you know what I'm saying? So, and that all correlates to children, because children is actually located in your future creativity and children corner, right? So there's a corner for this. But today, I feel like your inner child and external children will also be a huge guidance for you in the morning. So if you can do something, and what I'm getting is like cartoons, like if you can like put on some cartoons for yourself, or eat some cereal, or do something that you used to do as you were little, like it would really be helpful to you, and that would be awesome. So what I'm getting here, do you see that this depiction is, hey, I'm actually not doing I'm so sorry because your name is being blocked from my holder, but I'm not doing personal readings, but feel free to just tune in to the general reading for the collective today. And thanks for being here. So I just wanted to let you know, so here's how the, and by the way, I don't mean to like have like this tone of like, I'm going to ignore you right now and turn to the reading. I just am really bad in terms of transition because I just kind of I'm an awkward transitioner, put it that way. But like, it's funny, I'm an awkward transitioner outside of myself, but inside of myself, I'm like flow. So if that, I don't know how that makes any sense. It's like so interesting. Maybe it's like a people pleasing thing that I do. I don't know. It's, or a non people pleasing thing that I do. Who the fuck knows? I gotta look into that one. So thank you for making me be aware of that. Okay, so here's how your inner self works, okay? So this can go for male and female, it doesn't even matter. And actually this is all for male and female, this entire reading. So, but here, it's like, here's the nurturer aspect of yourself, right? Your adult-like self. This is you being grown, you know, like a grown adult. However, you have this inner child on the inside that a lot of people tend to ignore. But your what's it called? Your purpose, one of your purposes here, or one of your main focuses that it really should be the case here on Earth, is to basically be this person, be the adult, like matured type of person that you are, because that's totally fine. But also don't ignore this inner child of which is yourself as well, right? So again, as you grow up, you still have that inner child within you, and if you ignore this person, this little person of your mini self, you are going to be unhappy, right? So so this is what you have to do. So I think the helpful people in travel means that you have to start listening, or that we're transitioning, which is beautiful because that's kind of what we're in the period of, going from, you know, closing out the old and going into the new, is basically adapting to, hey, here's a new idea for you. And here's how you're going to help yourself now and towards in the future. Anytime you're feeling low, you're going to basically but it's not anytime. It's literally, you have to be listening to this inner child, because your inner child is the bold and daring one out of you, okay? Your bigger like self is like the logical, it was like, it doesn't make sense, da-da-da. But your inner child is like the believing aspect of you, you know, the faith-filled one. And so you have to work together as a yin and yang to actually make your life a lot happier. So if you're looking for more happiness in 2019, you have to be of the essence of being balanced within both worlds. Your inner world, which is your inner child, and your external world, your external world, because this is how you look, right? And have that be there as a guidance counselor, as a guide to your inner child. So my whole thing is, it's like, this is why kindness is so big, because as you are kind to yourself, you are then able to be kind to the inner child, listen clearer, be more accurate with what you need to do, because you are keeping this very pure, right? Pure and clean, and you're defending it, and you're doing everything that like kind of like an alpha mother would do, or an alpha father would do, right? So you're basically doing what you need to do for yourself, to be happy, and you're protecting your happiness, and you're protecting essentially your love, right? So, but also as you do this, you are exuding love, which is what children do, right? Children exude love without even trying. So once you do this, you're kind of more youthful, and you're then able to just fucking radiate, right? So it's really beautiful. So if you're looking to do something, because these two people are kind of melancholy, right? They're kind of like sad. They're like, I think melancholy means sad, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't used the word in a while. But this child is taking care of you, because look, she's holding on. She's like, listen, I know you're going to take care of me, even though you might have been ignoring me, and even though you're confused or upset or whatever, you don't know what to do with your life. You are helping, you are counseling, and you are healing that child. So you are in that mode of doing that. Use your skills to help children now. So this can literally be, again, outside of you, in terms of you going to, you know, an organization to help children, or, you know, to make you happier, because sometimes when we give, we then receive that, right? So if we feel that we're ignoring our inner child, maybe it's a great idea to go out to a childlike organization, where you can help children outside of yourself to then make you and your inner child happier. Sometimes you need a fucking play date, you know? This can also mean a play date where it's just like, you know, my inner kid needs to have fun, so I need my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, set up a play date for yourself. Like, go fucking do something with your friends. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just beautiful that this goddess queen Damara is going to help your asses out today. That's all I gotta say. So, is there anything more that we need to say to that? No, we don't. Okay. So, what was I going to say? Then you have independence, which is Bast. The queen goddess Bast, she represents independence, and it says, your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. Now, that's awesome because of the fact that here's what we're doing. Hold on, let me just take a sip to take it in. Oh, shit, wow, that's crazy. Nice, okay. So what I'm getting is like cat energy around here because it just kind of made me take in the cats here. I feel like there's one visible cat and one invisible cat because they were showing you one and then the other. So there are cats, and I feel like cats can come in all different forms, like a tiger, like a liger. No, I'm kidding. It was from Napoleon Dynamite. A cat that was coming up a lot in one of the readings that I did a few days back, and even it was last night, it was the mountain lion. Like, that's really crazy that the mountain lion is coming up a lot. So again, there's just a lot of different forms of cats now, which means that you are being oh my god, I just like laughed because this reminded me of, you know, the woman who did her face as a cat, like it's like the Catwoman. Or maybe Catwoman as in like Batman's Catwoman, so you don't know. That could correlate if you're watching those movies or, you know, catching up on what the Catwoman's doing. But the whole thing is, it's like you've now come into your own by midday, right? Midday, you're doing something independently, and I really do feel as though it is with goal setting, which is interesting. Goal setting, I'm getting also solar plexus. There's something that you are going to be doing, and doing is like also kind of going after it, right? So you're going to be going after something that is deep within your gut, because that's where I'm looking to. It's deep within your gut, but it's flowing into your sacral chakra. And it's also a very purely, maybe new idea, like a pure idea or new idea. And it's also something that you feel with your heart and your soul and just feeling, right? So because to be of your soul is to feel it, and there's something else to whatever. I'm just going to say be it and feel it, right? So there's a new idea coming up, and something actually in regards to travel, they're telling me. So I think you're open to receiving, because she's very open to receiving here. So I think you're just kind of like open to receiving where you need to go next. There's a lot of feathers here too. So it's kind of like angelic, the divinely angelic, I want to say light of God or light of love has sent you this beautiful either idea or this like kind of will to go, you know what I'm saying? And and it's really interesting. They're showing me fire. You are and talk about creativity. Creativity is like a fire, right? So there's such passion, there's such drive behind it that you might make it like, but yet there's so much peace, which is so interesting. With it. So you're going to feel as though it's so perfectly good for you, and you're making it a part of your, interesting. I'm also getting like an elf here for some reason. I don't know why, but, like a golden elf. So you have like angels, you have golden elves, you have fires, you have like peace, like there's peace and harmony and purity to it. So there's just something that maybe you have also manifested a long time ago that's actually, give me one second. Sorry, I had to just reestablish what was going on in my mind. So yeah, so there's just some sort of travel that's going on that you're actually able to say yes to because you're open to receiving. You're like kind of in surrender, but it's not a surrender like helpless. It's surrender as in powerful, you know? Um, what was I gonna say? Also. Oh, so they're looking. There's something with turquoise because they're making me look at her necklace. So it might be like too far, not far away places, because depending on where you are, it could be like anywhere. But it could be like Arizona, like anywhere, like New Mexico, anywhere that has like it. What is it called? The turquoise stone. That's basically where you might be traveling to. Yeah, because there's a healing that needs to go on there. So there's going to be a drive, whether you need to plan it or you need to go immediately. There's going to be a drive there. Um, you're also going to feel very much accomplished because independence, I feel, is a very, like this energy exudes accomplishment. You feel total, wholesome, complete. You feel fulfilled. You feel that you've done, it's like saying like, I've done everything. I've done everything I could possibly do. I'm now new and improved for what 2019 holds for me. And this is basically like, I'm just kind of accepting of it. Like you're just really kind of, in this flow of being surrendered to what 2019 has to kind of reward you with, you know, in terms of karmic rewards, which is what I believe in. So, and it's a very heightened, you're going to feel a very heightened form of independence, like a very heightened spiritual independence. Sorry for the noise outside. I might just have to take a sip while it goes away. I'm hoping it's a motorcycle and not a lawnmower. Okay. And yeah, there's just gonna be a cat it's interesting, the book that I'm reading has a cat in it. So maybe there's something like that where it's like there's a cat in your world. It might not be physically, but a cat that shows up in your world somehow that has a message for you. So just because yeah, I'm getting that it's like heaven sent because there's a feather right next to it. Is that all for that card? They want me to read that card too. Okay, we shall read it because sometimes I get messages from the reading of it as I receive the information. So here we go. Bast. Okay. Message from Bast. Like the cat. Ooh, there we go. You're fiercely independent, yet you also need affection and playful companions. Oh, we were just talking about that playfulness and affection through play dates, because sometimes we do need that. Now is the time to balance your social interactions with solitude. While you may ask others for their opinions, ultimately you must make your own decisions. So this is what I'm also sensing, is you might be asking other people for their opinions and whether you should do it now or not, but listen to your gut always. If it's now for you, it means now for you. It doesn't mean later. It doesn't mean, oh, let me go at the right season of like the highest season to go to a place. It's like, no, there's a reason. If your gut is saying go now and travel now, you have to go, you know? There's no time to wait in this life, guys. I mean, there is a time to wait because as a feng shui consultant, I'm going to say be patient. But I'm saying there's certain things you got to be patient with, and there's certain things you got to take the opportunity of, right? So those two need to be in pure balance of one another. You know what I'm saying? And have no expectations with any of it, so that you can be, pleasurably and happily and just joyfully surprised by it all. By the wonder of it all. While you may ask others for their opinions, ultimately you must make your own decisions. Your freedom and independence are top priorities, so ensure that these characteristics are nurtured. Also, what I'm getting here is make that, if you're doing some goal setting today, make that your top priority in terms of in 2019, where are you not feeling freedom and independence? So make that your top priority to be, of the changing, to make it, to switch it up and to change it up so that it is. And then so to ensure that to ensure that these characteristics are nurtured. This is why they're telling me to slow the fuck down, because I'm super excited about what life has to offer. I am my childlike self all the time. That is like the truth. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, whoop, whoop. So yeah, so that's really big, and I'm going to definitely take that. I mean, listen, all the advice that I give out here, if remembered, I do apply it to myself throughout the day, but also my intention from now on is to definitely listen to the guidance that is here, but also always intuitively remember to apply it to myself, because sometimes we think that, oh, we need to remember it as an idea, and it's like, no, sometimes we need to remember it as a movement, which is like just like you're being just, you're just being guided to that area of like to how it's going to be done, and then you're like, oh, this is why I'm doing this is because before you just kind of link it, you know what I'm saying? Before I learned this, and so I need to do this for myself, right? So various meanings of this card, it says spend time alone, give yourself permission to play, ask for your needs to be met. Amen. This is also asking for your needs to be met and being open to receiving. That's a beautiful thing. Make your own decision. Work with cats. Oh, that's a good idea. Work with cats. Also, something as simple as petting a cat today would be really highly beneficial for people, because touch is super huge. Pay attention to your pet feline and or get a new cat. It's funny, I was thinking about possibly even getting a new cat, even though I'm not a cat person, but I kind of have become a cat person, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm more like, I went from a dog person, and I'm still a dog person. I love dogs. But then it's funny because my second family has taught me that, oh, like you can have a dog and a cat. And I like that balanced life. I think it's really awesome, right? And then, they're like super awesome with one another. So I was like, oh, that's something that I could totally picture for myself. But then as of late, I'm thinking it's like, no, I just really would be happy with a cat too. So I like transitioned, like I really want a dog, but so however it's meant to go. Like I've always wanted a dog, and I miss having a dog. But there's been a period of time where I really haven't had any animals, which I'm completely fucking missing. And then now, and maybe that happened for a reason, because now maybe I'm supposed to go towards, like, I was quietly thinking about, like, cat stuff lately. Like, I'm like, oh, a cat would be awesome, right? Because they're independent, and that's what I love. Like, it's like, I don't really need to do much other than, you're there for me, I'm there for you in terms of different ways. But, like, when it comes to your own business, you can, check yourself into a box, and that'll be it, you know what I'm saying? But then again, I have to maintain that shit, so I'm like, I don't know, shit, like, on the real shit. Do we go into this other side right now? Okay, no, they don't want me to, but thank you, Goddess Bass. So, yeah, those were really, so there you go, those are, I love how I said open a book, or like in my book there was a cat, and now it's like talking about cats. It was like the first thing that I saw. It wasn't even like her that really stood out to me, so it's so interesting. All right, next card. Green Tara, start delegating, baby. I love it. Ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything yourself. I gotta listen to this bitch for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Oh my. Look into the book. Okay, that's what they're telling me to do. So, because I think the book slows me the fuck down. They want me to slow down. They're like, yo, T, you really gotta slow down. Like, fuck yeah. Amazing. Okay, Green Tara, Green Tara. So much healing there too. I love it. When you feel resentment in your heart because you're carrying more than you share of the load, damn, that sucks when that happens. You're doing no favors for anyone, including yourself. You need to ask for help to ensure that you have private time for contemplation and rest. Amen. One of the reasons why I'm able to sit so peacefully is that I No, the secret to true productivity. Damn, this is so good. It doesn't come through struggle or strife, which I purely believe in. Rather, it comes from a clear and focused mind that's unchallenged by indecisiveness. Amen to that, because there is power there. You see, making decisions is the shortest route to triumphant passages. Absolutely. Making decisions is huge. It's such a making decisions is such a small detail out of your life that people don't think would really do anything, but it is your karma. It's like exactly how karma freaking works. So all of your decisions then turn into actions, right? So it's kind of like you need to decide in a more I want to say in a more, because some people, when I say it that way, they're like, oh, I got to be extra careful with my decisions. It's like, no, be very careless with your decisions in terms of be very lighthearted about them, but make sure that they apply to the happiness of your heart, you know? And I'm talking about right now, like what you can see is happening, right? Like if you follow through with the decision, what would give you your happiness right now? What would give your heart empowerment right now? And then happiness towards the end as a reward out of whatever that decision, you know, brings for you, right? So, or makes of that entire situation. So you need to I'm such an, like, I'm such an adamant advocate about that. Put it that way. It's like, it's huge. You see, making decisions is the shortest route to triumphant passages. Once you make up your mind, see, we make up our faces, but we don't make up our minds. That's crazy. That's crazy. So make up your mind. Amen. And then it says, once you make up your mind, the rest follows quite naturally. I therefore urge you to sit quietly and follow the footsteps of your mind. Be open to your heart's meanderings. They will quietly lead you to make your most important decisions, and the rest will fall into place. Now this and this goes perfectly in hand, because if you understood the flow of that, there's something in here that you're making an independent decision when you're not supposed, you can ask other people about their opinions, but at the end of the day, you need to make your independent decision for yourself. This one's telling you to basically, yeah, it's like make that decision for your heart. You know what I'm saying? Not for anybody else. So again, include your heart in your decision making, but also everything else that was said was hugely important. Yeah, and everything else will fall into place. So various meanings of this card. Don't try to be a superwoman or a superman. Give your children chores. Again, children's popping up. Ask your partner for help. Accept assistance as it's offered to you. Really, and I don't know why I just pictured somebody like offering help with like groceries. It's like somebody maybe on the outside is like, oh, do you need help with groceries to bring them into the house or something like that? And you just say yes, if that's what you feel. Sometimes we have to force ourselves to actually saying yes. Do you get what I'm saying? But even with that, you still have to feel into it, whether it's you needing to release that resistance, or if the situation is really asking you to release that resistance in yourself. It says release guilt, or I don't even know if that last thing I said made sense, but it's okay. We're just moving on. Just try to make sense of it. Except I just know that your soul made sense of it. Put it that way. Accept assistance as it's offered to you. Release guilt or the belief that it's weak to ask for help. And that's basically what I'm trying to say there, is release guilt or the belief that it's weak to ask for help, because sometimes that's resistance. You don't want to come off weak to other people. You could do things yourself, blah, blah, blah. It's like, just literally just, you know, if the universe is bringing you something, be of gratitude, be gracious about it, and just, it's not even about weak or strong. It's about what it is at the situation, you know, at like what the situation is bringing to you. Okay. As is. And being a team player. That's beautiful. Do I go into this right now? Into this explanation? No. All right. So, that's huge. I gotta breathe because, yeah, that's meant for me to slow down too. All right, all right, all right. Are we done with that? Yes. Beautiful, guys. That your feminine side is strong AF. All right, so let me just these are the masculine cards for the divine masculine side of ourselves, or our whole side for the guys. All right, let me just ask. Do I stop here right now? It's like, I don't even have to ask anymore because I've done it for it's so funny. It's like they know. They're like, stop here. Okay, stopping there. Oh, this is beautiful, guys. This is beautiful. All right. I'm getting so flustered by this. Okay, because gosh, it's so beautiful. All right, so it's funny how when you put both of them out on the table, like there's a bigger story at hand, right? And how they all mingle. So 7 of Water, read this card? Okay, I'm going to read this card to you. 7 of Water is a complex decision, the need to do research, stop procrastinating. Okay. We're going to whip out what it means, because I definitely believe that way more info is needed for that in terms of how it's going to be helpful for us to make these complex decisions, which are not even complex decisions. They're just decisions, simple decisions that need to be made, that are sometimes they just make a more life-changing impact on us, right? So that's where we kind of get more attached to the decision making that needs to happen. But the key is to do the opposite. It's like not making it so big. Kind of like what I'm getting is like a celebrity, right? A celebrity is just a person, but we make them to be so big, or like royalty. They're just people, but we make them to be so big. So it's just kind of like that's exactly how decision making are. It's like, oh, we think sometimes, oh, there's like a complex decision needing to be made. And it's like, no, because you're just making it into this complex decision. You need to, what your job is to simplify that shit, make it more common and detached to you so that you can actually make it more of a greater karmic attachment to yourself. Do you get what I'm saying? Out of self-love. So, and that's like the healthy way to live, I feel. And not to ever sway from that, because that's what makes you real. And real, like, just fucking sparkly as fuck. You see these sparkles? Yeah. You're shining. You know what I'm saying? And this is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 7 of Water. You may be faced with a complex decision, and it's difficult to choose between the options available to you. Do the research necessary or seek counsel from a mentor. This is really interesting. What I'm getting here immediately, I mean, I immediately got it without reading it, but I forgot to go back to it, is literally the aspect of there is somebody here that is basically wanting to fall in love with a person who has a child, okay? And that's where this complex decision is being made. They are, either you are the person that has a child and you want to offer one of your cups to another person, but you're not knowing how they're going to mingle with, either the child or their mother or vice versa. But it's like something that you just have. And so this is where you're kind of, and you want harmony, right? So it's like, so that's why it's a complex decision. It's like, how is this all going to work out, right? So, or vice versa. Maybe there is a woman, that you had a kid with, and she's not wanting you to, like, she's not liking the idea of you going out to date. This is for the men, right? But the whole thing is, it's like, and you have a couple of different fucking options. But the funny part is, and talking about orange, and that how I resonate with orange. The orange one is in your face. You know what I'm saying? Like you might have 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, there's a lot going on here. 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, it's the chakras. So it's like you have 6. No, yeah, you have 6 cups that are offered to you. So you can go either these are, decisions, directions, or people, right? That's what they could represent. But this person that is in your face with the brightest one is literally the one to go with, but you're making it complex because there's just a lot of clutter around. You know what I'm saying? So, but this is your highest and best option, the one that's in your face and the one that's, of that creativity, because creativity in essence is usually unity, which is so interesting because creativity is like a caring of sorts that really brings people together. Do you get what I'm saying? In a creative way. And it's kind of like love in essence is a creativity. So never doubt that shit. Never doubt it. But okay, going back to what it said. It says, it's time to stop procrastinating and get busy. If you're drawn to a particular cup depicted on this card, its chakra color holds meaning and offers guidance as you're making your choices. Red means home and money, security, red means home, money and security. I'm burping because I don't even know. I always burp during my readings, but also because I'm drinking tea. Both. Okay. So red means home, money, and security. Orange means creativity, addictions, and sexuality. And again, it's not addictions. I mean, listen, it could be addictions can run really healthy or really in a negative way, right? But in essence, creativity, actually, this is maybe why I'm actually even more resonating with creativity is because, that made no sense. Because of sexuality? No, not true. It's because it's in the same, like, so sexuality and creativity are the sacral chakra, which is the color orange. But what I'm saying is, I don't know what I was saying there. I'm moving on. I have no fucking idea. Yellow means power and control. Green means love and healing. Light blue means communication and truth-telling. Dark blue means visions and psychic abilities. And purple means spirituality. So here's what I'm getting is that there's a decision that's being made here that you basically need to, there's a bigger situation in your life that you're trying to rebalance. And so either one of those chakra cups that I kind of depicted, it's like one of those areas you are looking to kind of work with to make the decision on. That's how I feel. So, and since orange is coming up a lot, I'm going to say that it's probably in your creativity, addictions, and sexuality. Like you're trying to make relationship decisions, but also helpful people in travel are one of those, it all ties in, right? It could be a relationship in a sense, right? It says, try to focus and avoid unrealistic expectations. And by that, I'm getting, try to focus on only what it is what you want. Forget the expectations, because the expectations can blow your fucking mind at the end of the day, right? It could be like if you just focus on what you want and also are open to receiving better, you're literally, that's exactly how you avoid unrealistic expectations. That's literally it. It's like, I am going to not focus on the unrealistic expectations. I'm going to avoid them at all costs, but also be completely open to how the universe is going to blow my fucking mind in terms of the rewards coming into play with that. Or the rewards and results, they're the same thing, right? So additional meanings. Meanwhile, I just thought results are actually the invisible aspect to the rewards, which is beautiful. So it's kind of more emotional. Additional meanings to this card: too many options, confusion, fantasies, imagination running wild, addiction. So see, it's so funny because in the additional meanings of this card, there's a lot of orange essence there, right? Imaginations running wild, addictions. We were just talking about, you know, that, and again, it's the forward cup. So it's like, this is your biggest issue at hand right now, is to literally, like, what are you doing with this? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you going to create a harmonious and balanced relationship out of this? But you will. Just know that you will. And what I'm getting is, it's like, it's in your face right now, right at this very moment. So that's a decision to be made, and that's it. Like, finalize it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, yeah, and then sometimes you need to, like, simplify. So as I'm saying, it's in your face. You can't have a whole I mean, you can. You can have a whole bunch of miracles in your face, right? But what's the miracle that makes you come more alive in your face right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, you're seeing me, and you're seeing this stuff around me, right? The most alive thing here about all of what's going on, like, all of these things are miracles, but it's like, I'm the most alive miracle in your face. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like, that's how you simplify, and that's how you're gonna pinpoint your decision, like that, you know? So it's like, so just go with the flow of what, you know, go with the flow of your decision making, and make it, you know, that simplified. Are we moving on to the next one? Okay. Also, it's like, it's what makes your heart come more alive. Mm. There's a song. Hold on 1 second, guys. What's that song? Staring down the barrel of a 45, marry me, marry me. I think that's what. It's kind of like a rock song, but I love it. So that was a key. Sorry, I had to listen to see, like, what that was. And again, it was slowing down, right? So I have to listen. So, thank you, 18, for that song. I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to look that song up later. And possibly link it down below, because that was that's definitely a sign. So we're moving on, right? Yeah, okay. Read this one too. Okay. So 4 of Earth is under the Independence. And it says, being too frivolous or cautious with money, good business decisions, giving to those less fortunate. Guys, this is so beautiful. Okay. So it's kind of like, okay, so this decision making, you are being cautious about it, because you want, there's just so much going on, and all of it is so beautifully connected. It's like, okay, finally you've made a decision that actually is going to be really good for your business, and good for your heart, and good for everything else, right? Giving to less fortunate, I did mention that if you wanted to go and you know, be a guidance type of counselor to children at an organization, that's giving to the less fortunate, right? Even though we're all very fortunate, there is no such thing as less fortunate, right? But we've, as humans, with our fucking, you know, like, just ideas of limitations, have fucking created that. But also, listen, limitations are really good too, because of the fact that they are boundaries. So we kind of need to make that in some ways, but I feel like sometimes boundaries go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're too much so into place, like, where it's like, it's not needed. But, you know, that's another discussion for another day. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money. And I feel as though it's because I actually don't feel that you're being too frivolous or cautious. I think you just know how much effort and work you've put into making the money. So it's like, you don't want somebody to come in And like if you're, and again, since my readings have been more geared towards romance, and I feel as though the divine masculine truly, I mean, wants a romantic love here. That's basically what's coming through. It's like they want a person that is independent, so that they don't really feel like they have to kind of, even though they're willing to help, they don't see the independence yet. You know what I'm saying? They don't see, like, they're in their own heads as a one-sided thing, and yet there's a person right in front of them standing like right in front of them, like I said, with total independence. So they're worrying about shit that's really being, that you're not really having to worry about, because this chick has her own, like, she has her own, like of course she's open to receiving and open to help and things like that, but she's really she's solid in herself. Like, you don't have to really help her out a little, like, you don't have to hold her hand through things, you know what I'm saying? So that's really beautiful. They do. You want me to read the description on this? Yeah, they do want me to read the description. So 4 of Earth. There's something here, I love going into the book because it's it's always like, it's like a treasure hunt. 4 of Earth. 4 of Earth. And sometimes, when I can't explain things verbally, as that's what's happening with me today, I'm like all over the place. Like, the 4 of Earth really grounds me, and it brings me back to not thinking too much, or not, like, not being able to stream as fast. And then it slows me down so that I can actually link things together and then bring them forward to you, right? So 4 of Earth describes this card as, this can be a card of extremes. It may be a cautionary message to take care of your resources. Perhaps it's time, and what I'm getting here is preparation of your resources to then be less frivolous or less cautious with the money. So it's kind of like pre-planning for what it is that you want and putting that into place, so that when you do meet this, counterpart, you're going to be like, here's how I've set this shit up, right? Like, so just, like, let me know how you feel about it. And, and then you can kind of expand on it if it's not working, right? But at least set something up foundationally so that your heart is at ease and that you don't feel like you're going to be used at the end of the day. So it says, perhaps it's time to create a savings account or review your spending habits. It's also possible that you're too financially conservative. Now, it's funny because I feel as though the woman coming in is going to be so independent, or the feminine side is so independent that they no longer need to be, like, they're no longer needing to be overextending themselves in terms of, overspending. Like, I think the divine masculine might be looking at, themselves in a way where, or at the other sex being like, oh, that's what they normally do, and they're setting themselves up for fucked upness, right? but the thing is, now that we're transitioning into a newer era of life where the feminine gets to kind of really feel what it means to, make money and do all that stuff, and like, but she's also becoming more simplified, as are we all, in order to gain more happiness for our lives. You don't have to worry about that anymore, because the feminine, listen, the feminine aspect of ourselves loves to spend that. And we all will never, I'm saying that because I don't want any of us to have that suppressed. We are all going to be consumers of sorts, right? But the whole thing is, sometimes we get scared that, like, okay, if the guy likes to be a consumer and then he has to provide for, like, his chick, and then his chick is like an overconsumer, how are they're going to be like always, kind of behind in terms of finances, and that scares a lot of fucking people out of even being in a relationship, right? So it gets scary. However, with this, it's kind of more so that it's like you don't have to worry about that anymore. Like, that's like an old idea from the past. So don't let it bother you, because of the fact that once you guys get together, you guys are going to be more simplified. I also think that maybe the divine masculine is judging themselves too, in terms of like, well, I like to spend, that means she's gonna like to spend, because we're gonna, like, we're gonna really kind of have similar qualities. But that doesn't mean that, because sometimes, a chick can come in and be way more grounded than a dude, thinking the dude is more grounded than a chick, and then being like, being like, happily surprised by it, pleasantly surprised by it. So, yeah, that's what I had to just say there. So, just put things into place. It says it's also possible that you're too financially conservative, which I'm thinking it's the opposite, because like either they're being too conservative, but I really have a feeling that they're being too, is it frivolous or too financially like just lavish with it, that they're being scared because they kind of want to keep that side of them, but they also want a counterpart, right? So it's just kind of like they don't know. I'm seeing 55 right now, so it's a lot of positive change on both ends. So it's kind of like that's what they're a little scared of. That's what I'm seeing. But again, don't worry. Like we worry so much about the financial or physical aspect of life, and it's like, don't worry, because when you come together with a person that is really meant for you, like you're only gonna grow your fruit, your like fruit. You know what I'm saying? Together. So. Additionally, this is a message to donate time or money to charities and worthy causes. Now, it's very interesting because that's the law of attraction. So the more that you give, if you are worried about your money, give money away, even if it comes down to the fucking change. It doesn't matter. I always say change is for positive change. So give change out to charities so that you can literally bring more money into your world. Because they always say give what you need most, you know what I'm saying? So to say to the A team that, and to the universe that I trust that you're going to bring me what I need, in every situation, and that you're always going to continuously bring it to me. So it's kind of like, it's like, what's it called when you set up an altar? It's like an offering. That's what it is. It's an offering. That got me super excited. So it's an offering that you give up to the universe as like to alter your circumstances in the highest and best ways. It's kind of like sacrificial, right? Like you got to give something up in order to gain. So gain better. And you're always going to gain better if you're willing to give from yourself. That is the truth. So, it says your hard work is paying off, which is, again, I said that for the best independence. Like, you've done all that you can do. So it says your hard work is paying off, but stay alert to new possibilities. Change is inevitable and can bring newfound sources of abundance. Abundance has been the key to many, just really awesome themes to these readings, guys. Like, in the underlying themes. They're underlying themes. So I'm excited about it. Change is inevitable and can bring newfound sources of abundance. Be open to new and exciting opportunities. Don't let fear-based thoughts limit your actions. Now, again, I was saying before, we limit ourselves as humans sometimes through these fear-based thoughts and actions that, we as a collective have set up. But now, and sometimes, and it's, again, we need a balance of both worlds, right? Because you have to have some sort of boundaries. But again, they should not be fear-based boundaries. They should be love boundaries, right? So that's how you're going to establish a more wholesome and well-balanced, aspect to your life. But what it's saying is, so again, feel into your heart and feel into the passion of what is, because there's passion here, guys. And I don't know, I feel like there's a foundational passion on the rise that you literally, and again, as the cards are laid out, one is on top of another. So there's you can't really see it, but in here, back here, there's a fire-like essence. So Four of Earth is a very grounding, it's a very foundational card. But now it's kind of it's kind of like a bonfire. Like, this would be your wood and this would be your fire. Like, you're just being taken and surrendering all that you've kind of created and just saying, listen, I did all that I can by myself. What's next? You know what I'm saying? But what's next comes from heart space, non-limited actions, right? So when I was talking about you're gonna get some passionate action idea here, right? And that's probably around your midday. that you need to take, it's because it's going to be love based, and it's going to be more so like you're going to feel as if it's for you and you yourself alone, right? Independence. So yeah, so you're going to just take it. It's like going to be a very good business decision, or investment is the next thing that's showing up as an additional meaning of this card. It says large purchases, penny pinching, fears that what you've accumulated will be lost. Don't put any of your effort or energy into fears, guys. You need to literally put your focus, everything, all of it. Fuck the fear-based shit. Fuck the limitations. They're there for a reason, yes, but they're already set up. You don't have to worry about them anymore. As now you have to set up your belief system. You have to set up like everything that will make you be more love-based, okay? That's where you're being led towards. That's probably the next step out of your independence, by the way. I just gave it away like a really like what happens in a really good movie. So yeah, so, you know, large purchases, I'm seeing rings, guys. So, you know, it's like, maybe this is also very interesting. The feminine is giving up their independence here because she's done all that she can, all that she has done by herself. Also, the feminine side of guys, too. It's like, they've created all that they can create in terms of establishing a foundation for themselves and for solely themselves, but now they want more. So it's like, what more can they do? And so maybe they are actually, you know, thinking about buying, you know, a ring in terms of like for their future queen goddess that's coming into their life, right? So maybe they're getting a little worried, you know, like maybe there's like a little like, fuck, like, you know, I don't know what to, like, that's what I'm saying, is like a little worrying, you know, but you're having fun with it. You're very well balanced. You're giving, you know, to the less fortunate. Also, what I'm getting is that you're spending more time, not giving to the less fortunate doesn't mean always that. It means that you're also giving your time and basically your time to those that really need you right now, because you realize at a subconscious level that you're going to be basically kind of giving your time elsewhere. So you might, if you have, you know, a baby mama and a baby somewhere, right? You're going to be spending more time with them until you find your one, because you know that when the one comes, you really want to spend time with them too, right? So again, I do see, very interesting, I see there are 3 women here. So there's like a child, there's a baby mama, and there's a new person coming in. So it's kind of like, you know, but everybody already kind of knew this, right? So the father-like essence, or the masculine, is kind of giving more effort towards towards what they have now, like giving time and effort and energy towards what they have now, so then that they can at peace be with this person, you know, with this person rather, when the person comes in. You know what I'm saying? But it's very interesting. There's a frequency here, guys. There's a soul frequency where, you know, you can't see it and I can't angle you in the right way, but you are like, they're making a decision on this woman, like probably today. Helpful people in travel. That's basically what it is. That's who she is to you, you know? 7 of water. Water is emotion. 7 is quick change. It's like electricity. You know what I'm saying? So it's coming in. It's like, I mean, electricity, but I also meant lightning striking. Like, it's like done deal, decision made, you know, and you're moving forward. But you're also maybe feeling uneasy about like all the foundational ideas that you've put into place for you. Like, are they going to be rocked, you know? But they're not going to be rocked. They're just going to be expanded on. So just make sure that you know that they're just going to be like, whoop, you know, like they're going to get better, you know. So there's not a lot to worry on over here. Interesting. 7 of earth, also another 7. So 7 and 7. Okay, cool. 7, 7 also being something changing in your foundation. Actually, it's funny, I just said something changing in your foundation. 7 of earth, earth is foundation. 7 is like a quick change, so there you go. That like is a confirmation. That's crazy. Seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. So there you go. It really is an unnecessary worry that you're kind of like, maybe like tossing the details around in your head. But just know that the seeds are well planted, a temporary pause in action. Do I read this at all? No. All right. All right. Yeah, I didn't think so, but gotta check in. I do want to say this came up, start delegating, green Tara, and seeds well planted really have a lot to do with both. Green is like healing. It's in nature, so you might want to go out and be in nature today. To basically to help you wait through the process, but also unnecessary worry. And it's funny because I feel as though, okay, so you're going to start delegating. So this start delegating also may mean that you might be giving communication out to the person, that you might be extending yourself to a person with communication to say, hey, here's the deal. You know, I've chosen you. I like you. I want to take things further, that type of thing, right? So start delegating makes sense, right? In that area of romance and, you know, relationships, but also, and so now so this person now knows about how your heart feels, right? And the temporary pause in action is basically like you just waiting for a response back. You're just kind of like, so what I'm getting is like, be more out in nature, and really also call upon green Tara as to help you instead of doing everything yourself, which is like being in your own mind, worrying unnecessarily, you know, unnecessary worry, and basically have her be your muse and have her be your person that it's kind of like your consulting firm. You know what I'm saying? It's like a person of consultation, right? So call upon her as, I mean, listen, guys, I'm actually not even familiar with these goddess queens at all. So every time they pop up, they're new for me. So, but I actually put my pride aside all the time, and I just like ask, because you just never, like, these are guidance cards, so cards of guidance. So if something's popping up, I just always ask, because everything is universal love. It's not like you can call upon anybody. It doesn't have to be just God. It can be like all these assistants of God, right? Which is a green Tara. So I feel as though you're going to be hanging out in nature, like the masculine is going to be hanging out in nature as they wait for a response to come back in, but knowing that their seeds are pretty much well planted, as if like they know that they've chose the right person for themselves. Like they feel it in their hearts, no matter what, you know? And there's a 4 and 7 here, so it's like 7, 4, 7. Whoa, that's crazy, because that's great. That's crazy. I'm going to keep that one to myself, but I'm pretty sure that if you're from my hometown, you know exactly what the fuck, that's crazy. So, and maybe that's what means 747. Maybe that's what means it's like you're coming home. You're coming home to yourself, to like you've planted your seeds well in terms of your home base, in terms of your heart. What do I look up the number 747 right now? No, there's something else. So, all right. So that's basically it. I mean, what else do I want me? Okay, so they want me to say is that your decisions today are bringing you back to home base, meaning wherever you were slightly like not helping yourself, not counseling yourself, not healing yourself, those areas of your life are now coming home to a rebalancedness of sorts and to a wholesomeness of sorts, where you're literally getting shit done from your heart, creatively so, and yet just having a little bit more patience to see like where this is going to go for you. But you know on the inside that this is actually like really meant for you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like really true. You're being true to yourself, and it's really meant for you. So all I'm going to say is pack your bags, guys, because helpful people in travel are coming your way. And since we have so many sevens that are showing up here, your day could be taken in any different way. So it's kind of like, if you want to live your life as if like you want to be ready to go anywhere in the world, like just make sure you have your passport with you, make sure it's up to date, and it's kind of like have your bags packed, because you can be taken anywhere today. There's a passion in the air that literally you're receiving some sort of something that, and it's probably from the divine masculine. You're receiving some sort of gift and some sort of, place to travel to, that you need to be ready for. So it's like, be ready. And it's exactly in the center. It's where basically your apex. So it's kind of like, it's definitely a game changer. Okay. It's like at the top of the apex. It's like the game changing moment of your day, maybe even of your life, guys. This is pretty huge because we're talking about complex decisions and stuff. So it's like, but just know that you're gonna make amazing decisions from your heart, and you know what you deserve. You know what you've been through. You know what you want, and you know that you're gonna trust enough to get what you want and more at the end of the day. I love it. 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 Okay. So again, guys, laughter is the best medicine. I just want to remind you with that. So, high vibes today, high vibes into the new year. Let's do this. I'm excited. I'm so super fucking excited. I'm excited about the daringness that's coming out of all of this. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I said, your childlike essence is your daring self, your bold self. So go with that. Your childlike essence within you knows the truth of the matter. That is your heart. That's having courage. That's, that's heightened spirituality. So, and your childlike essence loves laughter. So make sure it's fucking laughing all the time. You know what I'm saying? I love you guys so much, and have an amazing day. I know it will be an amazing day. And just enjoy every moment of it, and just go with the flow of it. There's a frequency. There's a soul frequency there, man. So go with that flow. I love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.